What's up, guys? So it's Ricky Jr. With Fine Ink and the Beyond Ink podcast. We're here with Rick Barnett. We're going to be talking about marketing stuff today. So what you need to know about marketing if you're a tattooer. We're going to try to explore that and kind of dive into what you specifically would need if you're a tattoo artist and you're looking to begin your marketing journey. The first thing, how old are you?
51.
51. Okay. So you remember when marketing was invented then, right? Yeah?
Yeah,
you know that?
Yeah, it was like 4 rocks in a circle.
4 rocks in a circle? Yeah, how was that?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so I the first thing that I want to tell the audience is what marketing is. So if we can just go through and you just give a brief, explanation of just marketing, right?
Yeah. Okay, so the most important thing is that a lot of people, if you don't understand marketing or if you don't understand the concept and you don't have a good understanding of it, it's hard to understand. But once you understand it, you can take off with it. You get it, you understand it.
Yeah, definitely. For me, it's felt like something because, I obviously tattooed and then now I'm the CMO for Fine Ink, and it just feels like something clicks at a certain point, and then from that point, You're like, okay. Yep. And I feel like it's almost like knowing your audience is one of the biggest things too.
Yep.
Because I feel like once we learned who we're talking to, it's just like anything. Like if you're trying to talk to a girl, the first time you're trying to talk to her, it's really hard.
Yep.
The 10th time you go on a date with this girl, you're like, oh, okay, I kind of know the things she likes.
Yep.
I know where to take her on the date. I know what to say.
Yeah.
And it becomes a lot easier, right?
Yeah, so I'll give you kind of my synopsis of marketing and advertising, okay? So first off, a lot of times you have to know the difference between the two because you'll confuse advertising as marketing. And that's the big thing that most people do. They confuse advertising for marketing. So let's start with marketing. Marketing is exactly what you just said, basically. You gave a great example. But here's the way I think of it. You want to think of marketing as your tribe. Like your tribe, your people. Who are they? Who do you resonate with? And what I mean by that is like if you're into, rap and that's all you're into and that's what you like as music, you're not going to resonate with people who are into heavy metal. You don't get it. You don't understand it. They're, screamo music. They're just like, I don't get that. Like, but then the screamo guys are like, dude, I don't understand what he's saying in the rap. And why does he say it so quick? And like, so it has to be a tribe that you resonate with. That would be the first thing that I would say. Like what I'm saying is the tribe. Yeah. It's a tribe.
Like a market.
Yep. You have to know your people.
Yeah.
So now that's the market. That's the people. Who are your people? And sometimes people think about their artwork, and you have to understand it's who you personally resonate with, and then who does your tattoos resonate with. Like you can think, oh, I resonate with traditional artists. That's who I resonate with. Like I like traditional artists. They're cool and stuff like that. But you're tattooing nothing but portraits and black and gray realism. Well, your tattoos don't resonate with that tribe. It does not do that. So you got to get on the same page with your art and yourself. I see a lot of people not do that.
So in reference, if anybody watched last week's podcast, we went over branding.
Yep.
And that's almost the yourself part.
Yep.
Like branding is almost though, okay, well, what do I want to present and who do I want to be in that market?
Yep.
And marketing now is the market.
Yep,
it's
marketing,
who you're talking to.
Yep.
And how you're talking to them.
It's connecting to both people. I like fast cars. I enjoy driving fast cars. I will probably like Daytona 500. I like fast cars. I like to drive fast cars. I will probably not be interested in something moving very slow and got no energy with a car. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. The brand and then what you're presenting. So that's that. That's the marketing. Now advertising. Now this is where it gets good because if you don't know what advertising is, the only reason I talk about advertising and marketing is because if you don't know what advertising is, you'll confuse advertising for marketing. Okay?
Yeah, that's huge.
So marketing is your market. It's your people. It's your tribe. Okay? Now advertisement is how you talk to them. Let's say I say this. today, come get free Geritol medicine. It will help your knees, your ankles, your everything.
That's what you're on now?
Yeah.
51 years old on some Geritol.
It'll help your knees, your ankles, everything feel great. And now that's advertising.
Yeah.
That's what you're saying. Now imagine I take that and I only market that to a tribe of 22-year-olds. That will never resonate. That's 50, 60, 70 plus.
Yeah, for sure.
That's what it is. So advertising is, how do I talk to my market? How do I talk to my market? If somebody only spoke Portuguese and you only speak English and you guys try to talk, very hard.
Yeah.
Without anybody else helping and you're just sitting in a room and you can't use your hands, it's going to be almost impossible, or at least very slow going, and that's what a lot of people are doing. They don't understand that advertising is what you're saying to your market. Marketing is your market. It is your tribe. It is your people. A great book for that is, there's two of them. Well, first off, if you could take any time and listen to Seth, I'm not sure if it's Godin or Godin, but Seth Godin.
I think it's Godin.
Is it? I think it is.
Is Purple Cow?
Purple Cow.
Okay, yeah. It's
Great
Godin,
book.
Right?
It's not too big. It's not too big of a book. It's an easy read. He explains the marketing really easy, and basically, just a summary really quick is, if you're going down the highway and you were to see a purple cow, legitimately, most people go down the highway and they're like, oh, look, cows. Oh, look, cows. Oh, look, cows. And then when they see, a purple cow, they're like, oh, wow, that's a purple cow. Well, the thing is once you do it once, you then have to be prepared to do it again and again and again and again, because then people will be like, oh, yeah, there's that purple cow. So that's kind of like the advertising to your market,
Yeah.
And it becomes easy once you know who your market is, If you know somebody that's into fast cars and stuff and things like that, you know exactly what to say. You resonate.
Yeah, it's definitely a journey.
Yeah.
Right? So it's a journey from like, okay, I'm working on branding. Who do I want to be? Why do I want to be that person? And then you go and you take who you are and that person and you say, okay, I'm going to begin to market. Who likes those things?
Yep.
Where are they?
Yep.
Where do they hang out?
Yep.
Why do they relate with what I want? And then you use advertisement to reach those people.
Yep, that's true.
So
that's exactly how you do it.
Yeah, it's almost like you're like the action of doing marketing is analyzing your market and understanding creative ways to advertise to them.
Yep.
And I feel like a lot of people maybe think marketing is like 20% off hand tattoos, which that's more advertising. And honestly, that's more sales than even advertising, right?
Well, think about, sales is advertising. Advertising is sales. I see those as the same thing. But here's the thing. You want to think of it this way. If you're advertising to your market or to your people, you can do it in one or two ways. You can walk out of your house and you can take a bullhorn and you can just shout, 20% off. Well, first off, how many people walking their dog are going to be like, yeah, okay, I'm interested in that. You're just shouting into the ether.
Yeah,
into nothingness. Okay? But then if you could collect a crowd of people or go to a convention and they're all into tattoos and you're the only tattoo artist and then you shout, that's going to make a huge difference. And what makes it even better is if you can do a one-on-one. If you can talk to that person one-on-one instead of shouting to a ton of people, it actually allows them to resonate with you and to actually now, remember, if I've got the bullhorn and I'm shouting, it's very hard for somebody to ask me a question. Therefore, if they can't ask a question, they can't engage back with me. Everybody wants to talk.
Yeah.
And you have to understand that. So for me, one of the best marketing tools is social media.
Yeah.
Understanding who's following you. Look at those people. Why are they following me? Okay, they're following me legitimately, specifically for tattoos.
You'll see a theme.
Yeah.
If you look through, you'll see a type of person that's always there.
So I think a really good story to talk about as far as advertising that helps people understand, which I'd like to tell, is the Red Bull story. And I'm just going to give the gist of it. I don't know the exact story, and I'd read it so long ago. And me and you talked about it. Actually,
Yeah.
you're the one that told me about it, and then I went back and did lots of research on the story.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
But basically, what happened was Red Bull was prepared to bottle their cans and start selling it for the first time, and they had a purchase order. I don't know how much it was, but it was not a huge purchase order. They had a purchase order to can it and ship it off. From what I understand, one of the ingredients or something like that happened where they did not have what was needed to can it. But then they had, I think it was like 20,000 cans that were just empty. So what they did was they took where they were in the area, and they already knew their market. They knew where their people would hang out. Like what type of cool club or what type of cool park or what, like skate parks, stuff like that. So what they did was they took those cans and they kind of like popped them open and crushed them a little bit, and they took 20,000 cans and put them everywhere, all over the city, at skate parks, like in the garbage can, down by the garbage can, at bus stops, everywhere.
Yeah, it's brilliant. It's marketing.
Yep.
Right?
And people were like, what is this Red Bull thing? What is this Red Bull thing? And the companies that had purchased the order for the drink.
Yeah, purchase ordered.
Yeah, the purchase order, they were like, okay, we ordered it. We're going to do it. They didn't have what was needed to actually get it to them, but people started going in and saying like, hey, do you have this Red Bull? Hey, do you have this Red Bull? The people who were going to sell it called and doubled the order. They were like, hey, when you get it, we want double the order. So they doubled their order, whereas if they had just put it in there, who knows what would have happened. But by first saying like, hey, look, this is a drink, it seems like it's something you would like in a skate park. It seems like something that someone else liked. They already drank it, and you see it everywhere. Everybody's drinking it, but you can't get it.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. That's and I don't know if they intentionally did that. I don't know if that was really they did that intentionally, or I don't know if that organically happened and they found a way to pivot. That's what good businesses do, good marketing people do. But I just think that's a great way to understand the power of understanding who your people are, who your market, who your tribe is.
Exactly. Yeah. Another really big question that tattoo artists like specifically have, right? So once they understand what marketing is, I feel like a lot of the times they kind of get into this, it's super big on Instagram and TikTok right now, like a bunch of artists talking about it, but it's like, do you have to be an influencer to be a tattoo artist that's making money? You gotta like, do you have to be an influencer to be a big tattooer? And I don't necessarily think they mean like using social media, but I think they mean like doing this type of stuff. Like, do I have to go on podcasts? Do I have to record myself? All this. I got stuff to say about it, but I want to hear you. Yeah.
Okay. So the first thing I would say is, what is an influencer? If you're asking the question, do I have to be an influencer? First off, maybe you do. And maybe your understanding of an influencer is not what a real influencer is. Like, for instance, I don't consider myself, quote unquote, an influencer. I consider myself as somebody who is just talking about stuff that they're interested in. I'm being organic. I'm being who I am. I'm being honest.
Yeah, I think that's why it works.
Yep, and your customer or your client or your tribe, I don't even like to call them customers or clients. Clients is better than a customer because a client is somebody who's returning and you care about. But anyways, your tribe, your people, you don't have to act. When you're around your people, when you're around your friends, your 2 to 3 friends that you know really good, you can just sit there and relax. You don't need to talk. You don't need to do anything. You can just relax and be on your phone, and they can be right there near you.
Yeah.
That's your tribe. If you have to act to be something that you're not, then you're an actor. And I think people think that's what
influencing
an influencer
is like acting.
is acting. And I guess there's a portion of that.
Yeah, there's a portion where you have to you have to be bigger than life, I feel like a lot of the time.
Sometimes. I don't feel like I'm trying to be bigger.
You're bigger than you. We'll pull back.
Yeah.
But I'm not one to talk.
Yeah. But you understand you understand what my point.
Yeah, 100%.
My point is that when you start, don't do anything you don't feel comfortable with. And don't do anything that you know that your tribe doesn't really care about. Just be you and do what you want to do. And that's whether you want to talk into a camera, that's whether you want to do small little shorts or just photos of yourself. I have some artists that are like, oh no, I don't want to put a photo of myself. And I'm like, your artwork is incredible. But people want to see the person that is creating that artwork.
Yeah.
They want to see who you are. It's for a lack of a better term, it's Oz. It's the man behind the curtain. When you got to Wizard of Oz, when you got to the Oz, you wanted to know, like, oh, I got to see him. I want to see who he is. I want to talk to him. And then when they pulled the curtain back, they're like, oh, it's just a little man talking into a big, big, big thing. But they found that what was important about that was that the little man really helped and solved all their problems.
And it didn't matter that he was Oz or not.
Yeah. The problem was not them. The problem was Oz. Yeah, like thinking he had to be big.
Like I've never seen I've seen the movie, but like it's a whole thing where they rip it back and like, this whole thing was fake. This journey was for nothing.
You know how many comments we're going to get of people saying you've never watched?
I don't watch movies at all. I don't watch any movie. It's not. It's not a. You know this. I don't watch anything. It's not
productive.
Like what's a good movie?
Something about Mary.
Haven't seen it.
Let's see. Oh man, I got such good movies for you to watch.
I'm something from this. Something after the 1900s.
Let's see. I don't know, man. There's some good Misery. That's a good one too.
No, I've never seen that one. Like any of the Marvel movies, none.
Yeah. Well, listen, Mr. Man. But anyways, now you gotta watch it because you gotta connect. I gotta watch it, right? Yeah. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, so like for me, I think that they think they have to be influencers because it's an effective way to market, but it's not the only way to market. So we just talked about finding your tribe.
Right.
Right? Most of the time when you find people who are resonating with you or the thing that you're producing, they care about the thing you're producing.
Yeah.
They will care about you, but the number one thing that's bringing them there is a lot of the times not really your personality. It's the work that you do. That is what draws them in. It's like the attention getter, right?
Yeah.
And then, you can play it and do it vice versa where you're so boisterous and loud and you're everywhere and then people are attracted to that and they're like, oh, well, no, he does do good tattoos, right?
Yeah.
But you don't need that. What you need to do is you need to know who likes the things that you do, and you need to know where they reside, okay?
Yep.
And to keep it on like an influencer thing, we'll use social media as an example, right? But you could do this with anything, with flyers, with cards, with whatever.
Okay.
Any other medium, this is always going to exist in marketing, right? You need to find what it is that you're doing that's of value.
Yep.
What is the value in what you're doing, right? And why do you believe people think it's valuable, okay? Yep. Then the easiest thing to do would be to take people that you aspire to be like, right? So we'll say you're a tattoo artist and you're really into new school, okay? Which new school, nowadays has been kind of taken over by the neo-trad kind of stuff where that's maybe a little bit more popular than like real pop new school type stuff.
Yeah.
So, that may be a hard niche for you to start up, especially in like Central Florida, Kissimmee, lots of darker skin, stuff like that. Not lots of people want that out here specifically.
Yeah.
But there's artists who do it all the time. And they've either built a huge clientele over just time or they do this. They find on social media where those people congregate.
Yep.
They look at the people who they aspire to be like, right?
Yep.
So if this was 5 years ago, I wanted to be a new school artist, we're talking Timmy B, the most poppin' guy, right? I would go to his comments, and this isn't in a bad way. I just want people to see my stuff.
Yeah.
Or even like, they have the new school pages where they just post everybody's new school. Maybe you go there. Somewhere where these people are. You're going to scroll through the comments and stuff. You're going to look at the people. Look at who it is.
Yep.
Who that is. And look at what they look like, the things that they like. What do they post? Is it tons of biker guys? Is it tons of people who play guitars? Like, just look for the things that are in common.
Yeah.
And then from that point, you're going to start logging and figuring out who those people are so that in the future, you can build a bigger pool of smaller niches that you know there's a higher percentage of those people that like it.
Or even in your area.
But what you'll do immediately is you'll click on that person, you'll take their most recent post, if it's recent, right? You can't click on somebody who hasn't posted something in 6 months and then comment on it because it's not natural, right?
Yeah.
There used to be follow for follow stuff.
Yeah.
I try to stay away from that now because it can cause issues because Instagram's kind of caught on to that.
Yeah.
So what I say to do is do the most interactive thing you can do without following them.
Right.
Which is commenting.
We're
going to like the photo and we're going to comment.
Yep.
Okay. And all that's going to do is, if you're on social media, you know, when somebody comments or does something that, you know, not tons of people are commenting, it's your friends commenting like, oh, you look great, or, you know, whatever it is. When somebody comments, you don't know who that person is. You click on it and you look and learn who that person is.
Yep.
And they're like, oh, this is a bunch of new school work. This stuff's super cool. And then they followed you. And that page could be, you don't need a face. You don't need a nothing. You just need to know who your people are and get your work in front of them. I feel like a lot of people, when they're using social media, because the easiest way right now is to be an influencer, because Instagram and TikTok and YouTube and Facebook, they like it.
Yep.
They like the faces and stuff, the algorithms, we're saying.
Sure.
So yeah, it's easier if you're going to post a video to 1,000 random people. Yeah, you got a better shot that way. You do.
Yeah.
But you have a way better shot if you could take 100 people who actually cared.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And show them whatever they care about.
Yeah. So I have a good example of that.
Yeah, go through.
Little bit off of like the tattoo thing.
That's okay.
But
we're all a little bit off.
yeah, but here's what you're saying is like marketing, knowing who your people are or your tribe, they have to have a reason. Like if you're a neo-trad artist and that's what you do, you want to find neo-trad collectors. Okay? So think about this. The most undersold, under-advertised tool in like contracting and stuff like that is a drill bit.
It's the most common tool, like for building a house, like contracting.
Yeah,
building
it's the most. Yeah, it's the most. They don't advertise it. When's the last time you've seen a buy this drill bit advertisement?
I did see a DeWalt advertisement last night, which is funny.
No, that's DeWalt. I'm talking like a drill bit.
No drill bits.
Yeah.
No, they're talking about the drill.
Now, let me ask you a question. When you buy a drill bit, what is the purpose? Is it to own a drill bit?
I'm somewhat of a collector.
What is the purpose of owning a drill bit?
You have something you want to do.
You want to put a hole.
Yeah. You have a purpose for it.
You want to put a hole in a drill bit.
Yeah.
The drill bit is to put a hole in a piece of wood or concrete or metal or whatever it is. It's not about the drill bit. You don't want the drill bit. What you want is the hole. But you have to purchase that to create the desire or the need that you have. So my thing is once you know your tribe, once you know your people, it then comes down to they have a want. They have a desire to want that type of art, that type of collection on their body. It starts with you being very, very good at your craft.
Yeah.
That's the number one
That's what I'm saying.
thing.
That's offering value.
Yep.
Legitimate
That's
value.
the number one thing you can do to market, advertise, whatever in that area for yourself is
be meaningful.
Be good. Yes, do not quit learning. Do not get so arrogant as to think that you're good. And if you're not good, buckle down. Schedule hours of study. Actual schedule hours of study. If you want more clients, add more value. Be a drill bit that can give them the hole in whatever the material is that they need. It's that simple.
Yeah.
You like neo-traditional, neo-trad, and that's what you want to do. Be the best that you can possibly be at it. You will create value. People will see it and come to you. Then everything else you do is extra, learning about where they hang out, who your tribe is, what type of music do neo-trad people like. Oh, wow, it's crazy. It's really the same kind of music I like. Understanding all that then becomes easier. But, it still goes back to the fact that I'm not, you're not trying, or I'm not trying to quote unquote be an influencer. I'm trying to be something that I am that adds value to somebody else. Then when you become an influencer, that's icing on the cake.
Yeah. Yeah, that's even almost more validation if you wanted to go for that route.
That's
at
right.
that point.
Yep. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So our next thing that I wanted to talk about is like, do we think there's like better social medias to market on versus worse social medias? Like, do you know anything about that?
So I believe that, actually I know that Instagram is better than Facebook. Facebook marketing is almost it's like almost becoming an ad, like a spam.
Yeah,
site.
kind of all of it, right?
Yeah, and people scroll through. It's really for people that are really connected, family and friends. And then the other thing is that Instagram, even the way that it's set up with the tiles, so if somebody clicks on it, they just scroll through. It's not like on your feed is not ad. You know what I'm saying? I mean, well, they're starting to put it in now.
Well, yeah, they do have it, but it's less in your face, right?
Yeah. And it's as far as tattoo artists, you have to think what you're doing is you're a visual artist. So people who are interested have to see visually kind of who you are, what your work is, what you're about. They have to see that. So Instagram is a great platform. I think it's one of the better ones for that. If you were doing something like right now we're talking, if that's how you wanted to get to people, you would do a podcast and you would put that on YouTube.
Yeah.
So you have to think about what is it that you're doing? And I can tell you straightforward, if you're a visual artist, do anything with oil painting, acrylic painting, watercolor, tattooing, you're a visual artist, Instagram is probably one of the best ones tools that you can use for that.
For sure.
As well as Instagram allows you to connect with your customer or your tribe directly through DMs, direct messages.
Yeah.
You know, if somebody likes your work, you know, if they put a heart on it, take 15 minutes to go back through the last 10 people that have hearted it and say, hey, thank you so much for supporting me. As an artist, you don't know that this is one of our most important things. Yeah. A lot of times we do this for passion, not just money. Yeah. You write something like that, somebody remembers you, but that's just being honest. That's why most artists do what we do. You know, 90% of the time we're doing this for passion. I've said it before. We're not necessarily doing it for the money. Yeah. You know, so DM somebody that has hearted or commented on your stuff and just be organic, you know, natural with them and say a thank you. That's it.
Yeah, and I also feel like different social medias play different roles in what you're doing, right? So I think like Instagram, or I don't think I know, Instagram is it's a very visual platform. Yeah. Right. So if you had to put like qualities and you assigned qualities and you had like regular content and then premium content in terms of like the resolution that you shot the photo in, right? How good the edit is, all that stuff. If you're looking at something like Instagram, I just feel like you have to do high quality. Yeah. Like all the quality has to be really, really good because it's such a visual platform. On Instagram? On Instagram, yeah. Did I say Instagram?
Yeah, you did.
Okay,
I think you did.
Okay.
But
and then
I might disagree with that a little bit, but go ahead.
Just hear me out.
Yeah.
And then you move over to something like TikTok, which it's more about entertainment value than it is quality, right? If you actually look at your TikTok feed and look at the resolution at which everything was done, you know, just everything about it. It kind of changed the game and the quality that was acceptable because it had lots of quirks, and I feel like it gave everybody almost entry-level tools to things that didn't exist before, right? And they're entry-level tools. So like the green screen stuff that people do. Yeah. Like, I mean, okay, that's not great green screening. Like your hair's all out of the thing. Like actually look at the quality of the green screen. But it's just an entertaining video, and that's kind of the platform that TikTok is.
And it's not too long. And
So I feel like if you're trying to find mass amounts of people that are interested in you in an entertainment way, maybe TikTok would be easier for you. So, you know, if you were going to talk and stuff. But if you were going to just post just photos, just videos, just whatever, like maybe the Instagram, Facebook thing is better for you.
Right. But okay. So I think of social media. This is how I do it. I think of social medias as a TV show. So you're relatively young and you don't watch TV, but
I remember TV though.
Yeah. Let's say I wanted to talk to people who had families and they had kids and stuff like that. You would put an advertisement on a family TV show.
Okay.
Okay. But let's say you wanted young people who were kind of hip and just getting out in the world and had maybe their first apartment and stuff like that. Well, you would put that on MTV's Real World or something like that. So knowing where to put what your content is like knowing a TV show. The social medias are like TV show. So now I'm going to give you an example. Instagram is picture-based. And I agree with you for the most part. It has to be a quality picture, and it has to be something that shows who you are in your work. Facebook, you could then write something like a very like a paragraph or a half paragraph about
like explain how you did it, the meaning.
Yes, meaning and how you did it. People want to read a little bit more there. So now that TV show, the people want to read a little bit more about you and maybe, talk a little bit about why the client came in.
You know what's funny about that?
Hold on. Whereas Instagram is, hey, I want to see your portfolio. I want to be able to look at your body of work.
Yeah.
And TikTok is entertain me really quickly while I get to see what you're about. So it's like TV shows. Like your ad has to say what those attention spans or those type of, tuner in, people who are tuned in are looking for.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
No. It makes 100% sense. Okay. And it makes me think of Benny.
Yeah.
He's the only tattoo artist I know, which I know a lot of people from more of his generation are the same because I've met them, but he's the only one that I have like a good relationship with. He gets most of his clientele from Facebook in 2023.
Yeah.
So like if you go to his Instagram and you go to his Facebook way more popping.
Do we know what he's doing?
If you look at the content that he posts, like when he does a tattoo that he's really interested in, he creates a whole story about the design. And he writes 3 paragraphs about the client and all that stuff and everything. So now almost what he's doing is what you're saying. It's more Facebook oriented. So people on Facebook resonate.
So now my question would be, okay, if he's doing that, what is the value that he's doing? Let's think this through, okay? Because this is a great example for us to think it through. So what is he doing? So he does high-end tattoos, right? He does realism, a little bit bigger pieces that, you're going to have to pay for. So think about the people that are on Facebook. The people that are on Facebook are interested in reading about him and reading about that art because it's remarkable. This artwork looks incredible. It's so realistic. It's remarkable. So they want to read that. Now, if you're a fine line, which is coming up, if you're a fine line, kind of like one of those
stipple shaded, yada yada.
Not even stipple shaded, kind of like just like an anarchy thing, that kind of little punk rock thing that's going on right now. TikTok all day long. TikTok all day long.
I think the style is actually called ignorant.
Ignorant? Okay.
Ignorant tattoos.
So yeah.
I don't know. You don't quote me on that. Yeah. It's you know the guy.
You just created a style.
I know.
All right, go ahead. What now?
No, so it's the guy who he makes fun of all the clients when they come in. He's got the piercings up here.
Yeah.
He called it ignorant tattoos. He called it ignorant tattoos.
I love it.
And it's like the little ones that like they look like house tattoos, but they're well done. Yeah.
So that may not be Facebook. People aren't going to read about like, oh, well, I did this ignorant tattoo with these lines next to. But if it's on TikTok and it's really quick, and it's got like a cool little song behind it, and they're like, oh, I resonate with that because. Tattooing, what are the reasons that people get tattooing? One of them is symbolism. That's what tribal is. Yeah. That's what tribal is. It's symbolism. So some people, get tattooed. Some of my most meaningful tattoos literally are almost a symbolist like tattoo. So, that's kind of where that ignorant, for lack of a better term, is coming from. But
minimalist.
Right, minimalist. But who is getting that? Is Facebook where you would want to be? So it doesn't surprise me that Benny, who is a very sophisticated artist and has, does realism and it's quote unquote remarkable. And think about the word that I'm saying, remarkable. That means people see it and go, hey, did you see this? Look at this guy's tattoo. It's remarkable. Like people want to remark or talk about it.
Yeah.
So he's going to want to write content and talk to them about what he did and how he did it and about his client. That resonates because that's more of a sophisticated collector. That's a collector. He doesn't have clients. He has collectors. Now, this minimalist tattoo, he may not want symbols all over his entire body. But he just wants to get that one kind of minimalist, ignorant tattoo, but it's still a symbol that means so much to him.
Exactly. Yeah.
Makes sense?
So obviously we probably talked 30, 40 minutes already about marketing. But the next thing I wanted to ask is like, I feel like lots of tattoo artists, they get into this, I don't know if it's maybe like a too cool mentality, or maybe they're just shy. I feel like maybe the too cool is because they're shy and it makes it hard to market. But I feel like I've talked to lots of tattooers, even kind of within our fine ink community, that are just kind of like, do clients actually, do they care? Do you think that clients care about your marketing that you do?
Yes, I do. 100% I do.
Do you think there's like a clear difference between somebody who's marketing and somebody who's not?
Absolutely.
And whether the clients recognize it's marketing or not, they just like it.
Yeah. Well, that's advertising. You're asking, does your market? So what you're saying is you're saying, do your clients care if you're advertising to them? So you're saying, does the market care that you're talking to them? That's almost like what you're saying.
Like, that makes sense.
So there's a group of people that have assembled for talking about,
and you're telling them about what they're interested in.
Yeah, about what they're interested in, and then you walking up on stage and being like, "Have a good day," and walking off. Well, of course, or like a comedian. When they get there, they better be funny. I'm here for funny. You better be funny, or you're gonna boo. Yeah. Your market cares to hear from you, and they care about what you say. And if you're doing, again, you can do it in your slick advertisement way, or you can do it, which is, like what I consider like, I guess, an influencer. And again, I don't know if it is or if it isn't, or you can just do it organically. Be good at what you do. Tell people this is what I like and be honest. Let your opinion be your opinion. There will be people that will resonate with you, with your opinion. You don't have to have the opinion of every single person. It's almost like, what's the saying? Be something to somebody or nothing to everybody, or stand for something. This is what I stand for. And if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for everything, every single time. So I do think they want to hear it, and I do think that they enjoy it. I just think it has to be in an organic, honest way.
Okay. So wrapping up the podcast and everything, I wanted to go over where could an artist learn more about marketing? I know we have our video about branding, so they can go back and they can look at branding, and that'll help them a lot and clear up a lot of stuff about this podcast, because that kind of like sets us up for this podcast, right? So beyond that, like, where's a good spot to learn about marketing?
Yeah, so you can go on YouTube and just put in what is marketing, or how do I market my business, or how do I market, my personal services. Don't say products, say services, because there's a difference in a product and a service, the way you would market. Get outside of the tattoo industry.
Yeah.
So listen to what I said. That's a very big tip. Get outside of the tattoo industry, because as far as like the marketing and advertising, you have some people that will tell you, but if you get outside of that, you have companies that are, world renowned, that have been doing this for years and years and years. Why not learn from them? Learn from them and then bring it back into your industry and make it better, or make yourself better. Start with yourself. You can't make any industry better until you make yourself better. But go outside of tattooing. It's the same thing with a tattoo artist who wants to get better artistically. Well, it's going to be really hard for you to say, look, I don't really know how to do this very well, and I'm not good with color theory because I always do black and gray. But let me just try it on you. I don't know who you're going to get to do that. Right. It's going to be, mom or your best friend or your girlfriend or your boyfriend. But my point is get off of the skin. Go start doing some oil painting. Go start doing some acrylic painting. Get off of the skin. It's the same thing with marketing and advertising. Get outside of your industry. Go look at other industries and look at what marketing is to them, because a lot of the times you'll find somebody who's much clearer and better and has been doing it longer than our industry. Mm-hmm. And then bring it back in. Make yourself better. Yeah. Bring it back into your industry and make your industry better.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. And I think you gave great advice to the audience today. And I think we really set the stage for what marketing is. Mm-hmm. And we set the stage for a lot of the stuff that we're going to be talking about on this podcast and everything.
Yeah, so, and another really good tip for somebody to listen to for marketing who's not in the tattoo industry, but he has kind of that feel, is Gary Vee.
Gary Vee.
Gary Vee.
Okay, yeah. So, yeah, guys, check out Gary Vee. Make sure if you're listening on Apple or Spotify to subscribe to us. If you're on Facebook, Instagram, anywhere, give us a follow. YouTube, subscribe. We're going to be talking about a bunch of concepts that resonate with tattoo artists and business owners and our clients alike. I think
comments, guys, we enjoy the comments.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I don't care if it's something that doesn't resonate with me, if it's what you would call a negative comment or something that's an opposing opinion.
Yeah, we want to hear you. Yeah, we want to know.
Yeah, and if you do, I want to know too. But I enjoy the comments. It helps me to understand who I'm talking to. Mm-hmm. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, awesome. And like I said, we went branding to marketing, and next week we're going to talk about the artist mindset. So you got to get ready for that.
I love that one.
Yeah, we're going to talk about the artist mindset, how to be an artist that is strong in the mind, which is very hard for lots of artists. I've been there. I know you've been there.
Oh, I've been there.
And we're super excited to give something of value to the tattoo artist and take everything that we worked on and kind of give it to you guys. So
Absolutely.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Again, follow, subscribe, whatever you can do to support us. Comment as well. We love to see that. Thank you guys. We'll talk to you next week.
Thank you guys.